Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Brittany Gillespie. I am currently going through my policing degree in university. I am looking to be graduated next year and am kind of getting a feel of the position and getting into the field.
Okay. And what do you like to do in your spare time?
Probably my favorite thing would be hanging out with my son. We go to parks. He likes splashing in puddles. I also really like reading and swimming.
Okay. So, Brittany, have you ever found yourself in a position where you've had a conflict with a person of a diverse culture or background? And if you have, describe the experience and how you handled it. Now, if you've had no conflicts, describe an experience or interaction you've had with somebody from a diverse background or culture.
Okay. Well, I haven't had very many conflicts with a lot of people, but I do deal with people of the diverse culture and background on almost a daily basis. My boyfriend's family is from Brunei, and when I go over to his house or family reunions, no one speaks English. They all speak Mandarin or Malay. It's kind of a mixture of all of them. So a lot of the times I just end up sitting back and listening. It's quite a nice language to listen to, but 90% of the time I have no idea what they're saying. So I've actually decided that this summer I'm going to see if there's classes available so I can learn Mandarin Chinese so I can be a part of those conversations and maybe be more into his culture and his family's religious and other beliefs.
Okay. Has there been a time in your past when you have been involved in a confrontation with somebody? And how did you handle this?
Well, the biggest confrontation I've been in was with my ex-boyfriend, who's the father of my son. He's got this cycle where he will verbally attack me almost every 3 or so months. And the last one happened within a Starbucks in front of our son. And the main thing I did was try to kind of lessen the tensity of the situation by keeping my voice kind of level and not falling into the game he was playing. And I found that kind of taking the high road helped the situation de-escalate a lot quicker than if I would have freaked out right back at him.
Okay. So have you ever had an experience when you were pressed for time and had to meet deadlines? How did you handle this situation? Specifically, how do you feel and deal with the stress?
Well, those situations happen all the time in college. When there's a big project coming up and you maybe didn't allot enough time for the project as you should have, I find if I kind of break the project down into smaller parts, it's more manageable and it helps lessen the stress that I feel when those deadlines come up quicker than you think and get really stressed out, and being able to see it in smaller chunks helps de-stress and manage the stress without it letting override my life.
So what do you do for yourself to alleviate the stress that you're under?
Sometimes at night I do kind of take an hour or so off and would go maybe read a couple chapters in a book or have a bath, something that's relaxing.
Okay. So in previous jobs, Did you have direct relations with customers? Did you ever encounter someone who was dissatisfied or angry? And describe the situation and how you dealt with it.
Well, I used to work at a paint shop. It was called Cloverdale Paints. And you do have a lot of customers coming in where someone screwed up the tint of their paint or sent them the wrong paint and they're quite angry about the situation. One of the ones that standed out for me was a husband and wife came in and someone gave them the wrong tint of paint, but the wife had ordered it before she went away on a weekend with her girlfriends, and her husband was painting the house and didn't know the exact color she ordered. So when the wife came home, the house was painted the wrong color. And she freaked out, and they came in and they were agitated, angry, mad at everyone. So we couldn't get them to calm down, so we called in a manager. He helped to de-escalate the situation, and we ended up retinting paint for them and giving them any like painting supplies they needed, like paintbrushes and tape that they needed, to no cost for them. And it seemed to really alleviate some of the tensity. They were still quite angry because they had to repaint their house, but they weren't as angry as when they came in.
So, do you feel that was a good way to deal with things, or what would you have done different?
I'm not entirely sure what I would have done different, because at that point in time, the damage was already done. Pretty much half the house was already painted this wrong, like, salmon-y color, and it's not within the shop's power to give them free painting services, because we didn't offer that. The only thing we could really do is give them the right paint color and anything to kind of replace the paintbrushes that were already ruined because of the other paint color.
Okay.
But it could have been completely eliminated if the person would have tinted the right color in the first place. And it would have been checked before it went out of the shop.
Okay. So do you have any questions for us on anything to do with this position?
Not that I can think of. It's just the main thing is, what would hours be like if I got the position, and like...
Well, because you're working for Border Patrol, and Border Patrol doesn't quit, it depends on your job title at that moment. Some is, day shifts, but it is rotating shift work. If you're working in the airport, we have to schedule according to flights coming in.
Okay.
So you could be working in the mornings or the evenings.
And that works fine for me.
Okay, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be contacting you here within 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you very much.
Have a nice evening.
You as well.